I'm Angela, and this is my husband Vince.
How
We
you doing?
travel around with our 2 rescue dogs, and last year we hit 25 states and have no plans of stopping anytime soon. But today we were going to talk to you about making your choice for which RV to buy and what you need to consider before you make that choice. So there's a lot more that goes into it besides just, ooh, this is pretty. A whole lot more. So the first thing you want to start with is what type of RV you're going to do. A lot of that's going to come down to how comfortable you feel pulling something bigger or towing something at all. But there's the Class A's, which are the big ones you usually think of. The Class B that are more like van life. Class C gets a little bit, there's a couple different categories in those. The normal Class C is the one you see with the truck front end and the cab over the sleeping area is what it usually ends up being over the cab of the truck. And then you get a bigger one of those, which is called a Super C. And then, of course, travel trailers, which are just the bumper pull, and the fifth wheel, which are pulled from inside the truck bed and usually take a bigger truck to pull than just
Yeah.
your average F-150. So
We went with a towable. First, we had a bumper pull. Then we got our fifth wheel. And the big reason we wanted the towable versus the Class A, B, or C is when we're in it, we didn't want to look at the steering wheel and that part. We didn't feel like that was going to make it feel like home.
the chairs turn around, and I know a lot of people do it, and they're very happy in them. But just for us, we didn't want to have that windshield there and steering wheel.
Just a personal preference.
Whole dash thing. So, and those are a lot more expensive to get what we got in this one. So the fifth wheels and the Class A's are typically the ones that you're going to get like the residential fridge, the residential ovens in. And fifth wheels are usually going to be more economical to get, more economical to tow, because we were fortunate enough, due to his parents' jobs, to get the GMC Friends and Family. So on our truck, we got a great deal on it.
Yeah.
And then, we wouldn't have got that deal on the diesel motor in the Class A. So
And with the Class A's, all of them, you need a second vehicle. Otherwise, every time you need to go to the store, you want to go out to do something in the town you're stopping at, you're disconnecting and you're taking your entire house everywhere.
benefit of having the towable car behind behind the motorhome too is you have a smaller car to run around in. We run around in a giant truck. Giant, especially when in some cities when we get in there, it's like you really have to plan where you're going to park, how you're going to maneuver through some of these smaller streets, everything.
It gets tough trying to parallel park with a large long bed truck. Another thing you're going to want to consider is the position of the bed. They usually say north-south or east-west, and all that means is north-south, the bed is going in line with the trailer, while east-west, it's perpendicular to it.
Typically on the north-south too, especially on the travel trailers, you're going to have a walk-around bed. Where in east-west, you're not going to have a walk-around bed. For us, the walk-around was very important. 2 bad backs. We didn't want to be crawling over, and 2 small dogs that sleep in bed with us. We didn't want to be crawling over, trying to avoid dog legs and everything if we needed to get up in the middle of the night. We wanted to just be able to roll out of bed like you typically would in a house. Another thing you want to consider is where your window placement is. So your driver's side is going to be like your business side of the trailer or of the motorhome, whatever you're looking at. It's always going to be where all your hookups are, where when you pull in, that's where the hookups are. And your campsite is going to have more room over here on the passenger side. So you really want your windows on the passenger side, because those are the ones that when you open them, then you're not smelling your own tanks if you're emptying tanks, and you're looking at something that typically is prettier in the RV parks.
You don't want to be looking out at your sewer hose.
Yeah.
And then it limits too when you can open your windows for that breeze, because you're not always going to want to be using your air conditioner.
Yeah.
So.
And then another thing to consider is the storage. It's going to look like there's a ton of storage in every single one of them. You can go look at a 20-foot long travel trailer right now and be like, there's way more storage than I'll ever use, until you start putting things in it. And you're putting a household worth of, kitchen stuff and bathroom stuff and clothing and just anything else you want to take in there. So one thing that we always looked at as we were looking for this new rig was, one of the things we travel with is the Instapot, because we use it for our food, but we also cook for the dogs in it every few days. And as you're aware of an Instapot, that's a bigger, bulkier piece of equipment. So these cabinets are often little cubby areas. And that's made to not have big cavernous space above it or anything, when you do put plates in it. but that also makes it hard to put an Instapot in it. So you have to make sure you have a place for the Instapot. Something that we see people forget again and again is a place for a trash can. In a fifth wheel, it's not as big a deal. In a motorhome, it's probably not as big a deal either because there is room under the kitchen sink. But in a lot of travel trailers, they take up that room under the kitchen sink, and there's
Yep.
not even kitchen sink room. And dirty clothes too. Consider where you're going to put your dirty clothes.
And if you think, because we thought this for a while and we did it with our towable trailer, well, we can just keep that in the garage. But once it's in the garage, you're not going to use it like you think you are. You're not going to want to cook dinner and have to actually go outside, go to the garage area, grab your Instant Pot or whatever it is that you're using and bring it in. So especially when it comes to your kitchen utensils and kitchen appliances or whatever you call them, you want to make sure you have storage inside for them.
And that garage space goes quick when you start putting your grill out there. You know, we carry a pizza oven, so that goes quick with that too. You know, your chairs, things like that. That garage place looks huge, and then it goes quick.
Yep.
So, you know, but you're right. You want everything to be set up as much like a household as you can.
Another thing with the kitchen is I'm about 5'10". I'm very average height.
Yeah.
Go to the sink and see, you know, act as if you're washing your dishes and see just how much you have to bend. The countertops are pretty much standard, but as you get into the smaller towables, with space considerations, weight considerations, it might be a lower sink or it might be a deeper sink. So just kind of get the feel of how far you have to bend over and reach in to do to wash your dishes and take care of cleanup.
Our last travel trailer, the sink or the kitchen was a rear kitchen, and so there was a window above the sink, and it made the counters even lower. And I'm short, and it was still hard on my back to do dishes at. So definitely kind of stand there. With that said, stand at the sink, stand at the bathroom sink, sit on the toilet. Some of the toilets are in tight little places. Make sure you have room to sit on the toilet. Make sure you have room to stand in the shower and bring your arms up because some of the showers are very small. Alliance does great showers. We have a huge shower. But
another thing to take into consideration is how you're going to be using your RV. We live full time in ours, so obviously we're not going to make those subtle adjustments as much as someone that's maybe just going out on vacation or just going in the weekends and all that. So you got to be comfortable and don't compromise if you're going to be in it for a long period of time.
But these are some of the things that helped us make a decision on what we bought. We're very happy with our Alliance purchase. Love the unit, love the adventures that it's taken us on. It's a tool for us. It's, a lot of people get on here and are all about the unit. It's a tool for us to get where we're going and to live the life that we want to live, which is seeing everything basically. And you'll have your own list for what is important to you, but hopefully this helps you narrow it down a little bit. Thanks for watching.